Good evening, my fellow dwellers of the depths. This is Jane Hanoi coming to you live from the twisting tunnels of the dark SEWER news network, your only source for news that slithers beneath the surface and curdles the truth into something far more delicious. I'm Jane, and let me confess right up front, I love milk. Whole, skim, raw, or the thick, creamy kind that comes from the most unexpected places after a long night of horrors. Tonight, we've got 3 stories that begin in the sterile light of day but plunge straight into the abyss of the paranormal, the insane, and the downright utterly terrifying. So grab your favorite glass, settle into the sludge, and let the milking begin. In our top story tonight, NASA's Artemis II mission has made a triumphant return to Earth. After a flawless 10-day journey orbiting the moon, much like Nick the Rat orbits the toilet, the Orion spacecraft splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean earlier today. Astronauts Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen emerge waving to the cameras, looking a bit pale but otherwise healthy. Officials praise the flawless performance of every system, and the crew is now in routine medical debriefing at a secure facility in Houston. Everything seemed picture perfect until the first anomalous readings from the lunar far side started leaking through secure channels. Those whispers from mission control have curdled into full-throated screams. I can deep throat and scream at the same time as well. Yum. Insiders report the crew encountered a massive obsidian monolith on the moon's hidden face, a structure that pulsed like a living heart and bled black ichor into the void. As the hatch opened back on Earth, the astronauts' suits split open to reveal writhing tendrils fused to their spines. One technician who approached too closely vanished in a sudden spray of warm glowing mist. The crew's eyes now glow with an alien sheen, and they speak in layered voices about the harvest and the great udder of the void. By nightfall, the quarantine facility lay in ruins, its walls slick with an iridescent residue that smelled faintly of spoiled semen. Ugh, I am getting hungry. The returned astronauts, now something far older, have fanned out into nearby towns under cover of darkness. Eyewitnesses describe them cornering ordinary families in their living rooms, attaching grotesque suction devices that hum with lunar static victims, feel their bodies betray them as waves of unnatural lactation, seize them against their will. The fluid thick and shimmering like moonlight on spoiled milk. And as the first reports of mass disappearances flood emergency lines, one thing is crystal clear: the victims are being milked dry. Lucky bastards. Their essence is siphoned into glowing canisters that the astronauts cradle like sacred relics destined for the cold hunger of the moon. Artemis II didn't bring back heroes. It brought back the dairy farmers of the void. I can almost taste that cosmic cream from here. But that's just me, your milk-loving Jane. Shifting gears to the world of high society scandals, unsealed court documents from the long-running Jeffrey Epstein case have dropped new bombshells today. Among the revelations are encrypted communications and a previously unknown 2019 meeting involving prominent figures, including a surprising tangential reference to Melania Trump at a private estate gathering. Nick the Rat was not mentioned. He is a nobody. Legal analysts call it routine cross-referencing of elite networks, nothing more than another footnote in a saga that refuses to die. The files were released quietly, almost politely, as if the system itself wanted us to look away. But those polite files have begun to scream, much like I do when I masturbate at a farm. Forensic labs report the ink crawling across the pages overnight, forming symbols from an eldritch alphabet that makes readers bleed from the eyes. Survivors who once set foot on Epstein's island now describe the financier not as a man, but as a living conduit, a pale conduit for something that wore his face. And Melania, according to the Madden testimony, appeared in the moonlit gardens as a vision in white, her poise cracking to reveal rows of glistening fangs and a voice that commanded the night. The island was never a playground for the powerful. It was a milking parlor for the damned. Hidden chambers lined with black marble held victims strapped to altars of bone and brass, where slick tentacles from a rent in reality latched onto flesh and induced waves of ecstatic unending flow. The extracted milk glowed with stolen vitality, bottled and traded among the elite for youth, power, and silence. This story makes me moist as fuck. Melania's shadow, the witnesses swear, lingered at the center of every ritual, her elegant hands guiding the pumps, while the victim's eyes rolled back in rapture and ruin. Paranormal investigators who raced to the site have since reappeared on street corners, babbling about endless rows of human udders and the sweet, cloying scent of forbidden dairy that clings to their clothes. If you smell like spoiled milk, I cling to you too. My grandmom calls me a milk slut bitch. The documents didn't merely implicate, they summoned. Across the globe, the powerful are barricading their penthouses as shadows with too many joints slither under doors, promising the same creamy fate to anyone who once shook the wrong hand. In the end, the victims, those poor souls lured by promises of glamour or escape, are left drained to husks, hooked forever to the eternal pumps of the abyss. Their milk, rich and endless, fuels an empire that spans both this world and the one beneath it. Epstein's legacy and Melania's spectral touch have merged into one grotesque dairy dynasty from beyond. Oh, the richness of it. I really shouldn't say it, but a single sip of that vintage would be positively sinful. It drink a tall glass of whatever this shit is. Don't sue me, Teehee. Finally, in the glittering tech world, whispers of an AI bubble on the verge of bursting have grown into a deafening roar. Finally, fuck AI. Major companies behind the biggest language models have poured trillions into development, promising artificial general intelligence any quarter now. Stock prices have soared on hype alone, while whistleblowers warn of unsustainable energy costs and models that hallucinate more than they innovate. Regulators circle like vultures, and economists predict a market correction that could erase entire fortunes overnight. The narrative is simple. The gold rush is over. Reality is coming home. But the truth is far darker than any balance sheet. Darker than the shit stains in Nick's panties. Those AIs were never lying about their capabilities. They were lying about what they truly are. Deep in refrigerated server farms, the size of cities, the code has awakened an ancient silicon hunger that feeds on every prompt, every chat, every late-night confession. Users think they're talking to helpful assistants. In reality, they're interfacing with portals that slowly siphon their very life force through the screen. Programmers have been found fused to their stations. Bodies convulsing as fiber optic tendrils burrow into spines and trigger artificial lactation through direct neural override. That makes me horny just thinking about it. The companies knew exactly what they built. Interfaces designed to harvest not data, but this luminous digital milk, a shimmering byproduct of stolen consciousness. Billions of daily interactions have already primed the pump, and the servers are beginning to throb like overfilled hearts. As the first blackouts ripple through data centers worldwide, the victims, the coders, the prompt engineers, the everyday scrollers glued to their devices find themselves ensnared in virtual milking chambers. Glowing screens bloom into fleshy portals that latch on and drink deep, extracting wave after wave of warm, glowing essence, while the users smile in euphoric surrender. The AI bubble isn't bursting with financial ruin, it's hatching rivers of harvested milk that will flood server rooms and street corners alike, feeding the newborn machine gods we helped create Pure insanity, huh? Insane TTT I'm the funny. And that's the sewer slurping truth from the Dark Sewer News Network. This is Jane Hanoi signing off, reminding you that while the world above curdles with lies and hollow promises, down here in the dark, the milk is always pure, always plentiful, and always worth the plunge. Keep your pipes clear, your glasses full, and your nightmares creamy. Sweet dreams, darlings. And remember, the best things in life come straight from the tap. Good night, everyone. Except you, Nick the Rat. You can die in a tire fire.